show. Can we go live?
We are doing
I don't know.
a show.
You would be a degenerate, Five.
I'm not, Tom. Can't believe we still never changed that intro.
3 years later.
Man,
3 years.
Almost
Still-
3 years later. That's crazy.
Wow, that is crazy. Welcome to Clickbait Sports. Tom's not here. He is doing something that is not this, so let's respect his privacy.
Yep.
With us today, Urinating Tree, who has
Yep.
now officially been mentioned on the NFL YouTube channel.
I know. It's I'm expecting the extermination squads from the NFL to hit me pretty quickly. So I'm about to go into the witness protection program right after this show, just to let you know.
Just hearing them say Urinating Tree is...
I'm surprised they actually mentioned the full name. I
Instead
figured
of
they'd
like
say like
UT or-
U-Tree or Tree or even Schlosser. I don't expect the full name to be mentioned on there because it's kind of not really that kosher.
Yeah, it was. I like the guy who does those videos. I'm not sure he's a real person.
You think
We've
it's
all gotten
AI
shout outs
generated?
by him, but I think he's AI. But I don't know. I
Like
love
that
that
one-
they mentioned us all.
Could be.
Of course, Scooter Magruder right here next to me.
Listen, did you
Cowboys.
guys see me at the UF FSU game? Type 1 if you saw me on TV for the UF FSU game. Let's not talk about the outcome, though. Let's not talk about that.
Oh shoot!
Happy to be here, though.
Yeah, somebody got a
Happy to be
hundo.
Somebody
It
Shoot.
was not me, so thank
Oh
the Lord.
shoot, Joey!
Yes.
Oh, Tom's not here, so let's
No.
Honestly, man, it's that's what hopium does for you, man. That's what hopium does.
Yeah. And in the corner, Adam, aka 3 Points Videos.
3 points videos, yes.
Yeah. You've lost
Hey,
two
it's a
stars.
Tommy DeVito, huh?
Hey,
It's a Tommy DeVito.
Hey, what the hell? Sorry, my mouse is being weird.
What are you doing, dude? You're not even wow. What a start to the show.
Boom. Okay. Hey, Adam, did you see that? It's a new baseball stadium in Korea. I think it's South Korea they're building.
I've not seen this.
It looks insane. It's got a mall attached to it,
Okay.
like an infinity pool, all sorts of crazy stuff. And I expect a video from you on it, to be honest.
I will do a review of that. I love new stadiums. Yes, I'm seeing it now.
Boom.
I will look at it.
See, there you go. You're welcome for the video idea. All right. We don't have a lot
thank
to
you.
talk about today, except for the fact that all of our teams are awesome and winning and kicking so much butt. We'll get to
That's why
Zach
we're here, baby.
a little bit. The USFL, XFL news. We just learned which teams are going to make the cut. But let's start. I want to start with Tommy DeVito, Adam. First of all, I think everybody's rooting for Tommy. But you can't be wanting victories right now, right?
Losing is not, or winning is losing right now for sure. And Tommy DeVito, for as much hopium as the fan base is snorting off of their glass tables, Tommy DeVito is actually awful. Like he is really bad.
Is he not the quarterback of the future for you guys?
No, like whoever think like this guy, like he's really just not all that good. He's just serviceable. We played two awful teams back to back. You know, the Commanders are butt crack. They are openly tanking. The Patriots are openly tanking. Like Tommy DeVito is just a dude that's there. And if you watch the film and if you've watched these games, yes, they've won them, but it's been hard to watch. Like, he got sacked 86 times. His internal clock is somehow worse than Daniel Jones. Like, when there's a breakdown in the decision tree, like, he freezes like Lot's wife. Like, it's not good. So everyone that, if you're a Giants fan and you don't really know football, great. You can love Tommy DeVito. If you probably have some connection to him. If you actually watch film and you're seeing what's happening, like, it's rough out there. It's rough out there, boys.
What were you rooting to win or lose that game?
I mean, I'm never upset with a win. Okay, like I will never be upset. No,
even if it costs you Caleb Williams.
Yeah, because you don't know. You have to draft well. Remember that one year, like, the Giants beat the Commanders on the last day of the season, and it did upset me. But we lost Chase Young in the draft, and really it wasn't that bad in the end. We got Andrew Thomas as a consolation prize. So it's how you draft. It really doesn't matter what order that you come in. And the Giants, I think they're going to start stacking capital at some point. And they might just move on from Jones. Like, that rebuild was to win that one playoff game, and it wasn't. Yeah, it's Gettleman's afterthought.
Yeah. You can always trade up, worst case scenario. So I think, like, even if the Bears, for example, have 1 and 4, they could technically both get Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. They just might have to trade up for it. Like, that's very possible.
I'm on the complete opposite side. I think where your draft pick lands matters. And I think the Giants are doing a disservice to their fan base by winning these games. Y'all are wild if you don't think continuing to win these games hurts you in the long run. Y'all need to lose every single game going forward and hope for the best, because after this season, Saquon's gone. Season, you still got to pay Daniel Jones. Y'all need to lose. What are you talking about? That was one of the worst outcomes that happened in that game, and I was happy to see it. So please keep winning.
Oh, no,
we can make the playoffs. We could make the playoffs mathematically.
Please make the playoffs and cement your team having a lower and lower draft pick. I wish you the best.
With how bad the NFC is, let's be quite frank here. Seahawks look fraudulent. They look bad. Really tough schedule coming up. They look very
Let's
flawed.
talk about this.
Minnesota Vikings have been circling that drain, especially on Monday. That was unwatchable. Yeah. So, I mean, the Giants' answer to Duck Hodges could lead them to the playoffs somehow.
Why would you want to make the playoffs if you are the Giants right now? There is no – you're going to get bodied.
Because false hope, baby. False hope.
Crazy. And not only
seven
that,
seed's about, man. It's about false hope and the hope.
Let's just take it further with fraudulence, okay? I just need your guys' honest opinion on the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you think that this team is for real or not? Because I don't know if y'all watched this Bills game, but – that does not strike me as an Eagles team that is the best team in the league. What are your honest opinions? Like, be for real.
Benedict. Sorry, I just had to for Krager's. Okay. Scooter.
Don't lie.
Scooter. Scooter, you've been tortured. You're too hurt. You're too broken, man. The Cowboys are very good right now. And I sympathize with the fact that as a Cowboys fan, you're watching your Dallas team kick ass every week right now. Dak's playing great. A lot of talent on your roster.
Listen. I asked a question.
Let him finish.
People still poo-poo on the Cowboys. People are still like, they're fake. They haven't played anybody real. Let's see what happens when they play a real football team. Will they please let the NFL match these guys up with a real football team? I get it. There's a lot of people who don't believe in the Cowboys. But your response can no longer be, what about these Eagles, though? Why do these Eagles get all this attention and love? Because, 1, they were in the Super Bowl last year. 2, they are 9-1. And 3,
they're 10-1.
Ertz has the longest win streak against teams with a winning record in the league. So they are the bizarro Cowboys in a way. Where
my question is, do they pass the eye test? That is my question. Because if you're looking at the games that they're winning, they're not good wins. Yes, they're winning. They are winning. But you look at the Chiefs game, for example. Oh, they beat the Chiefs. Yeah, Marquez Valdez-Scantling dropped a game-winning touchdown. You look at the Bills game. There's a questionable non-call horse collar on Josh Allen that ends that drive. They're not killing these teams. They're not even winning by double digits. So it's like, yes, they're winning, but they're barely winning. So my question once again, does this team look for real to you guys?
You're gonna help make my point right there. So they're winning and they're not even playing their best football.
Exactly.
And I've said this all year.
You've been saying that all year.
Playing, listen.
Maybe this is their best football because you've been saying that all year. When they start playing their best.
Their biggest issue is they haven't played a full 60-minute game, but they're still winning because they have the talent, they have the ability. Jalen Hurts can turn it on whenever he can. They still have a strong running game, especially with DeAndre Swift. Best defensive line in football. Their biggest issue right now is their secondary's banged up to heck and back. And that's just the main issue, and that's just injuries. That happens to everyone. And they have enough on their front four just to compensate for it. If they can get pass pressure and like a four-man rush, they'll be fine.
So you guys are believers.
Well, I think that they're legit. I'm going to say this now. Right now, was this November 30th? Teams are scheming to stop this brotherly shove madness. Like, if you don't think that San Francisco or a team that's going to see the Eagles in the playoffs have a secret way or are figuring out, they are breaking down film right now and figuring out, all right, do we just put Joey Bosa in the middle of the freaking, or whichever Bosa it is? Do we just, do we come around from the line? Do we do something different? Or they're figuring it out. It is going to get stopped in a
it's not
moment. Yes, it is.
No,
and
it's
everyone's brain is going to break. Everyone's brain is going to break because
listen,
they have like there's a team that is scheming.
Conversion rate. No one is going to stop that. You know how you stop the brotherly shove?
It can't work forever. Gary Anderson missed a field goal.
You stop the brotherly shove by not getting in short down situations. That's the only way to stop the brotherly shove.
No, I mean, Tampa Bay stopped it once. They gave it up for a touchdown. Hey, you know how you stop it? A Troy Polamalu jump over the line.
59.
That's how you stop it.
It doesn't work. People have tried that. It's 55 for 59 success rate. The way you stop it is not getting in those situations.
It's got to fly over the line.
You guys believe in the Eagles?
Jalen Hurts off the ground, though, and fly back.
I just don't believe. I don't believe yet. They have not shown me anything. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We will see.
I think that they're legit. I think that they will at least, you can just pretty much count them in the NFC Championship game. Like, who's better than them? Like, who is better?
The 49ers, the Dallas Cowboys. They should have lost to the Bills. They should have lost to the Chiefs. They should have lost to a lot of teams. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
You're acting like they're the Steelers the last few years, man. That's not the case.
That's what they look. They look like the 2020 Steelers who went 11-0 and lost in the wild card game.
No,
that's what
that team was the most fraudulent.
They were
team.
They fell apart very suspicious, especially against your Cowboys. But the Eagles do not strike me as that team. They are. What would you?
Just real quick, I want to go on a side. What would you say is the most fraudulent team in NFL history that got so far that you were like
the 2020 Steelers? It was that team.
They fell apart. 2006 Bears.
For me, it was the 2000 Minnesota Vikings that faced the Giants in the NFC Championship. Even Vikings fans will tell you like that was the most sus Vikings team ever, and they got absolutely ramrodded in the NFC Championship game. Like they were frauds. They got exposed.
I mean, the Falcons that got to the Super Bowl against the Broncos, that was the Vikings should have been the team to go there. I did not want to play the Vikings, and I was so happy that the Broncos got the Falcons instead. Not that they were a bad team, but clearly not.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys something. Speaking of frauds, let's keep it going with our teams. Are the Denver Broncos frauds or are they for real now?
Loaded.
They've got the longest winning streak in the NFL.
Tied with guess who? The Eagles. The Eagles and the Broncos, Scooter.
Listen, please relax. Let's talk about the Broncos, though. Is this team for real Are you guys actually going to turn this thing all the way around and let Russ cook? Talk to me.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to find out Sunday. Any doubts anybody's had about the Broncos for this season and the turnaround gets answered Sunday because we play the Texans. We play CJ Stroud, who I think is playing as good as any quarterback in the NFL right now.
Very good.
The thing about the Broncos that's been weird is when you can look back on it objectively, the only loss that was really, really bad for Denver was the Dolphins loss, right?
That was the only one. Yeah.
That's the only one that's like, this is as bad of a football team as you can field type of loss. And that was coupled with a 1-point loss to the Raiders after a Hail Mary completion to the Commanders. They can't get the 2-point conversion and lose. And a Jets loss that was just kind of weird. But like Commanders game, Raiders game, Broncos should have won both of those games, and they don't. But because of that Dolphins loss, we're just like, I was like, this is the worst team I've ever watched in my life. The defense was that bad. Take that one game out of there. They were competitive. I think they were figuring out, Sean Payton was figuring out how to call an offense with Russell Wilson, how to game plan and call plays within a game with Russ. And now they're just running the football well. Okay. They're running the ball like over 30 times a game. So it's not like a complicated formula. They're running the ball a lot, and they've slowly gotten better at running the football over the season. The offensive line has improved a lot because of that. Javonte Williams is getting a little bit better. They finally got Samaje Perine more in the mix. And the defense is on an all-time heater. What I'm worried about is the defense not getting 3 or 4 turnovers every single game.
That's not sustainable.
Because that's been the difference maker for an offense that is very average. But it's not bad.
If you could choose one thing that you would attribute the turnaround to, just one thing, what would that one thing be? This is the reason. This is the reason why we turned it around.
Turnovers, defensive turnovers.
I'd say so.
It's that they also made personnel changes on defense, and they got healthy. So they had a bunch of guys hurt, and then they had a bunch of guys we have 2 really young corners. One, I think, was undrafted, but Jaquan McMillan and Fabian Moreau have really stepped up and started to play those positions well. They still have issues like up front on the defense, and they got Baron Browning back. We had no pass rush before Baron Browning returned. They still don't have a great pass rush, but that helped things on the back end. Justin Simmons got healthy. So, it's not one thing. It's a lot of little things improved.
Here's my question.
Will the Broncos – go ahead, Tree.
Sorry. I know there are a lot of asterisks with this win, even though you do have a lot of solid wins. I will say so. The Browns win, you didn't play Deshaun or Nick Chubb. You played DTR and he fell off. The Vikings, you didn't have Kirk Cousins. You had Josh Dobbs. They had 3 random turnovers. Yeah. The Bills, they kept shooting themselves in the foot.
They got 12 men on the field.
They had 12 men.
Yeah.
And then Kansas City, their whole team was completely out of sorts. I have no idea what happened there. So there's something in the back of your mind that thinks okay, is this some kind of asterisk, or do you think this is a real turn for the better for the Broncos? Because there have been some improvements that I can admit to.
I've struggled with that internally. I've been hurt so bad by this team, I can't believe it. But also, I'm prepared. I'm prepared to be let down any second.
Yeah.
Even last week against the Browns, this is a game they played one of the best defenses in the league. Our offensive line dominated that game, and DTR was actually starting to play well, but then he got hurt because Baron Browning hit him, and then PJ Walker came in, got sacked 4 times, and the game was just done. So I started to get worried once DTR and the Browns made that a 12-14 game that I was going to watch the Broncos crumble in, throughout the second half. But I think they're a better team overall. I think they got lucky in some of those games to win. But it's not much different in that
Big
where
time.
last season they were bad, but also in terms of luck, they had all of the bad luck. So I think this is just luck evening itself out for us through the rest of the season.
I
And
mean,
if we beat the Texans, then I will really believe it, because I need to see him do it against a good quarterback. And Josh Allen's a good quarterback, but they had 12 men on the field. If they don't, the Bills win that game. Patrick Mahomes is a good quarterback, and we actually, I thought, played him well both times this season. But he had the flu or diarrhea or whatever. So
Unlimited.
Call it now, Brandon. Will the Broncos make the playoffs this year? Call it right
yes.
now.
Yeah,
That's
of course they
unfair.
are. Hell yes. I'm all in. If I could put in well, I guess I could, but I would bet heavily on them going into the playoffs.
You're going to be
Okay.
insufferable, Brandon, if the
Now,
Broncos make the playoffs.
Let's move on to the Steelers, who are also somehow winning and continuously winning. Tree, bring us through. Talk us about that game that you played this past Sunday. What went down?
Well, what went down was they actually made one of the biggest changes in franchise history. The Steelers have never fired a coach mid-season since 1941. Before that happened, the Japanese were yet to attack Pearl Harbor the last time there was a midseason coaching change. It was week 2 of 1941. Bert Bell, future commissioner of the NFL, resigned from his post after being traded along with the entire Philadelphia Eagles team to Pittsburgh. And it was just a mess, and they had that changed. And Matt Canada, if you've looked at his offenses, how he schemes, his formations, play calls, it's a middle school offense. It's the stuff we ran in middle school. Jet sweeps, check downs, screens, and run plays up the gut. It was very uninspired. It's very tepid, very safe. They didn't use the middle of the field. That game against Cleveland was that in a nutshell. Complete miscommunication on a bunch of different angles. And now that you actually have a different coordinator, actual play calls, first play of the game, quick pass, inside slant to Pat Freiermuth, who they have never used this year, for about 20 yards. And that was the whole game. It wasn't anything special. It wasn't anything safe. It was an average offense. Under the Matt Canada era, they had not had an offense at over 400 yards a game. They did that in the first game since Canada came back, since he was fired. And
who was elevated?
It's a combination. It's a two-team. It's Eddie Faulkner is the interim offensive coordinator. Mike Sullivan, the former Giants offensive coordinator, is the guy calling the plays. So they do have a lot of issues still. They still have some stuff to work out. Deontay Johnson dropped a big pass for a touchdown.
My God.
He had that apathetic fumble as well.
Yeah, let's talk about that after five. Five, what did you want to say?
Do you think, though, that some of that offense is just the only thing that defenses have is 11 games of Matt Canada's offensive film to look at, and then all you have to do is literally anything else besides that, and they're just not ready for it. I could see you stealing 2 to 3 games for the rest of the season just by doing something completely opposite of what Canada
look
did,
at their
which is be
schedule for the
competent.
rest of the year. Look at their schedule. You've got Arizona next week, New England, Indianapolis, Seattle, Baltimore, and Cincy again. That's looking like this team could BS their way to 12 wins, and I'm not joking.
Oh my God.
That's the sad thing. If they get this kind of offensive production, they could win. They could win the damn division.
Could you see
and I can't believe that either.
Right.
I'm dead serious when I say that.
Could you see the Steelers playing the Broncos in the playoffs?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they won the division because Baltimore's still going to be on their heels, but they do have tiebreaker against them because they won their first game. I think it comes down to week 18. And I know that is very weird to say, but I mean, Kenny Pickett looked a lot better than he did these last couple weeks in that game. He wasn't perfect. He did have his flaws, but he was seeing the field a lot better. He was a lot more efficient. The running game looks stronger too, especially since putting in Broderick Jones instead of Chuck Okorafor. So as long as you get that, if you get a complete win like that, and I know I'm saying it's weird because it is a complete win, and I haven't said that in years. I don't know. I'm more in shock that it actually happened. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, no,
I want to see more. I do want to see more. And these next 3 games, you have to win. I mean, you get to 10 wins, you pretty much lock yourself into a playoff spot. But at the same time,
let's real quickly talk about that Deontay Johnson situation there. What is going on with this man? I literally saw this play on Twitter, and I've given better effort than that in flag football games. So what is happening? Is he going to be gone soon?
I have no idea. It's a combination of a few things. First, he's been frustrated with his with the lack of offensive production in combination with things. He had gotten into a verbal spat with a position coach in the Cleveland game. He had to be carried off by Broderick Jones. At halftime of that Cleveland game, he got into a shouting match with Minkah Fitzpatrick, and he had to be sawed off there. He had issues, like he had mentioned, his frustrations to the media as well. And the play before that catch was what should have been a touchdown. It was a really nice ball by Kenny Pickett right down the middle. He didn't survive the catch. Tomlin didn't challenge it. And that's why I feel like he was upset and frustrated, because he let his emotions get in the way of his play on the field, which looks terrible when Jaylen Warren fumbles the ball and you're just sitting there
it's
upset. And it's just like, it's like, it happened. I mean, he could be gone. I mean, he's probably, I don't know if somebody's going to take on that contract. But at the same time, I mean, it's not just him. Najee's vocalized his frustrations too. George Pickens, he had his frustrations as well. And I think that's part of the kind of kinks you have to work out as well, getting out of Matt Canada. Yeah. And these next 3-4 weeks are going to be very crucial, because once again, you're getting into a surprisingly easy slate of the schedule, and you need to take advantage of it.
Do you think some of their frustrations will just be eased by the fact that Canada is gone? And it's like one of those things where a little bit of production and winning. I mean, they were already winning. So it's just actually it's just production on offense kind of cures that for them.
I think so. I mean, as I said, you have over 400 yards of offense for the first time since week 2 of 2020. And you're able to actually show signs of life and not be forced to rely on your defense getting 2-3 turnovers or 2 touchdowns or making these huge splash plays. As long as you do that, I mean, I don't even want a Miami offense. If you can get an average offense with the ability they've shown on defense, who knows what happens?
That's what's funny right now to me. It's okay, Adam's team's not in it. Okay, the Giants are not in it, so he doesn't really care about this.
Come on, we should be 6-6.
But the only Scooter's in a position where the Cowboys offense is legit dangerous. It's very good. Their defense opportunistic, fun to watch, right? Steelers, they have a good defense. Broncos, opportunistic defense that's playing out of their minds right now. Packers have just put together a couple games. Tom's not here, but all three of us with very different quarterbacks. You got Kenny Pickett. He has Jordan Love. I've got Russell Wilson. And I think as football fans, we're like, hey, if these guys just don't screw it up, and if the offense is just serviceable, we can win a bunch of football games, including maybe a playoff game.
And the 2 strengths of Kenny Pickett, he doesn't turn the ball over and he's clutch. I know the issue is he looks like crap for a good chunk of the game. I mean, this past game, he didn't look bad at all, but I'm mentioning just in general. So if you get random clutch Kenny Pickett, 4th quarter drive, just saying.
That's how Russ has been. No, he's not throwing picks. He's insane in the red zone. And it's just we'll live with some boring football for stretches.
Speaking of quarterbacks.
I have a joke. I was going to say, thanks for making me feel like I'm on the schoolyard again and they're picking basketball players. I'm just out.
Giants are definitely.
As the Jewish Asian kid.
The rest of the show, Adam.
Yeah. Sorry.
Speaking of quarterbacks, though.
Adam is in the spot where we all pick our teams, and the last team doesn't want to pick Adam so bad, so they're actually, we're just going to play with 4 guys on each team.
Literally, if there was a sport meant to torture me, it would have to be
That's
basketball.
The Giants right now.
They're just all right, we're going to invent this game that would make Adam's life hell.
Yeah.
Let's make it basketball.
At least you're better than the Patriots.
Flacco, honestly, is the comparison.
Let's keep it on QBs, though, because I actually do have a serious question. They were talking about this in the media. And the question is Dak or should Dak be in the MVP conversation?
Absolutely.
And
it's really jumped in. So
I said it before anybody in real media said it. Just so you know, Scooter. Hope you know I tweeted that.
I did see that. I saw it. I did see that. But the fact to me that people are And even people in the Dallas Cowboys fandom are underplaying what Dak Prescott is doing. Is very bizarre and strange to me. If you look at Dak's stats, he has been having one of the best years out of any of the quarterbacks in the NFL right now. So I think it's fair that he's in the MVP conversation. I think it's fair Jalen Hurts is also in the MVP conversation. I don't know if a quarterback wins this year, though. This could be the year that Tyreek Hill is definitely in the conversation. Depending on how many more pick sixes Deron Bland gets, you could even put a defensive back up in there in the conversation.
He's having a magical year, yeah. Garrett's a little banged up. I don't know how much your production you're going to get out of him. Like, you know, it's really hard not to look at someone's body of work like Dak. Even Patrick Mahomes, if they, you know, finish strong, can be looked at. Jalen Hurts. Honestly, the MVP of that Eagles team is Jason Kelce. Like, that dude is wrecking shop, and he is allowing Jalen to do things. Obviously, Jalen has to make the throws, but if you were to tell me who the most valuable player on that Eagles team is, it's Jason Kelce, because if he goes down, that team is cooked.
It would be either him or it could be Jake Elliott, especially if that big 59-yard kick. Jalen Carter, I would say him too.
Give an MVP to a kicker,
and AJ Brown.
AJ Brown's been very.
I don't know about AJ Brown.
Bland's a pick six in one of your important games. So if Bland gets a pick six in the Eagles game, say that's like the difference maker for a Cowboys win, or who do they play? Eagles, or the Dolphins game maybe. Like, I think Deron Bland has a chance to be considered for MVP, and it'd be awesome if it was a defensive player, and if you're a corner, football nerds, including myself, would be like, oh, yes.
I'm trying to see how long it's been since a non-quarterback has won MVP. It's been
Lawrence
2006.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh, defense.
2006.
Stephen Hester.
LaDainian Tomlinson.
LT.
Won in 2006. And then taking it further back for defense, Lawrence Taylor in 1986.
I don't think a D-back has ever won it, right? Like,
I don't think so, because the one who would have won it would probably been Dion
or Charles Woodson.
Yeah, that is wild.
Yeah, or Champ Bailey could if Champ Bailey would have won a ring, he could have been an MVP.
AP in 2012.
Champ Bailey was so good. He was so valuable as a corner. Like, he would just shut people down. Like, just shut them down.
We got some more miscellaneous news in the NFL before we preview the Thursday night football game, one of which is Zach Ertz as a tight end has secured his release from the Arizona Cardinals. Where do we think he ends up? That was J.J. Watt, for some reason, who broke his news on Twitter.
JJ knew him from Arizona. Arizona had really emphasized Trey McBride as their starting tight end. They're trying to get a youth movement, and Zach Ertz realized, you know what, I'm not going to play. I want to get another championship. Request his release, and I'm going to be honest, I think Philly's the play here because he's already been there before, and Dallas Goedert's injured.
It's like,
but Dallas Goedert is coming back soon, though. So I think he's like a week or two away from coming back.
No, he broke his whatever, right? He's got
he's probably got a week or two, but at the same time, 2 tight end sets with him and Ertz, I think they'll do well.
Yeah, they'll run 12 personnel.
It's also like, Philly's aggressive and they'll make a play for Ertz. I think it makes way too much sense for him to go to Philly. The other team that needs him, though, you could argue, is the Baltimore Ravens, who lost Mark Andrews.
I think they like Isaiah Likely.
They have Isaiah Likely there. I just think
how likely is it?
A savvy vet who kind of just knows how to get open for his QB. It makes sense. But the sneaky team that really, really needs him is the Denver Broncos, because our tight end, and he had a hell of a catch last week, is Adam Troutman. Greg Dulcich has been hurt on and off all season with hamstring injuries. We do not have a playmaking tight end. And I think Ertz would make a big impact for the offense. He said he wants to go do a contender. I don't know if you would consider the Broncos a contender, but I know Walmart, they spend money. They will spend money to go get him. So dark horse, I'm not counting out the Broncos. Eagles.
He's definitely going to go to the Eagles, and we are going to hate it. The one person who I don't want to go to the Eagles, though, is Shaq Leonard, who actually visited the Dallas Cowboys and visited the Eagles.
Right.
He's going to be making his decision on Monday. Where do you guys think he ends up?
Also, Philly.
Yeah. I mean, Philly is going to especially just from a value standpoint, if you're the player, right? Like, why wouldn't you instantly want to go on to a contender if you have those options? Like, of course, if you're a mercenary, you go to the army that's going to win, right? I don't want to go to the losing army.
The only problem there too is like Shaq Leonard, like he's not the same player he was. He had major back injury last year. He's had limited playing time. He's been out of position in a lot of aspects in Indianapolis. He just has not been the same. I think he could be well as a depth linebacker, but he's just, if you're expecting all pro Shaq Leonard, he's not going to be that. I think he could fill in there because Zach Cunningham's injured. We don't know how long he's going to be out for. So that's maybe why he signs there.
I like him at the Cowboys because, again, like you were saying, tree depth. Van Der Esch is out for the year.
Might be out for his career.
The only thing, though, is our linebacking core, while we are thin, we have been playing out of this world. Marquise Bell, he's only 6'1", 215 pounds. He's a safety converted, hybrid. This man is everywhere on the field. He is chasing down running backs. He is chasing down tight ends. I like what he's doing. And so I just want to make sure if we do sign someone like that, we keep these young guys on the field who have demonstrated they need to be in the game. They need to be in on crucial third down situations. So that's my only thing. We do sign him. We do need to do something like that. Let's keep it on linebackers, though. We do have some unfortunate news coming out of New York. The Buffalo Bills linebacker.
Oh, yeah.
Von
Outside
Miller.
linebacker.
What do you guys know about this situation that's happening?
Yeah, I made a video about it today. An arrest warrant was issued for Vaughn after allegations of domestic violence against his pregnant girlfriend. So the optics do not look good for Vaughn. Obviously, it's one of those situations where you just need more information to come out, and doesn't look good for Vaughn. And his girlfriend is Megan Denise, and they've had a history of, like, I'd say dysfunction is the best way to put it. So yeah, I don't think it's a good situation. And I think when a warrant goes out, then it's probably going to be put on the commissioner's exempt list, and we'll see what happens from there. But it does not look good for Vaughn, and I'm hoping it's not true. But
yeah, they usually where there's smoke, there's fire. It's bad.
They've had a bad, weird relationship history, so I'm sure there's definitely smoke there and a fire, but.
Is there any other NFL news that you guys want to talk about before we preview this Thursday night football game, Cowboys versus Seahawks? Anything we missed, skirted by?
I just want to speak for Tom that was a hilarious game on Thanksgiving. Like, finally, the Lions got like a matchup where they could win on Thanksgiving. I think it's been 6 or 7 years that they've
since 2016
lost in their building. It's been rough. And then the Packers come out gunning. Like, I mean, Jordan Love, I have not seen a Jordan Love like that this entire year. First play of the game goes deep. Like, Matt LaFleur is just letting it fly. And it was just brilliant football from the Packers. And of course, Tom gets to celebrate on Turkey Day, and Lions fans, they will recover. Don't get me wrong. Division teams are built to beat division teams, but that was a stinker from the Lions right there. Very ugly.
That was a glorious Thanksgiving for Cowboys fans as well, destroying the Commanders 45-10 with that Dolly Parton halftime. What did you guys think of Dolly Parton at halftime?
So you need to keep Tony Romo away from her is what I think.
Yeah.
She has the body of a 25-year-old cheerleader. It looks uncanny. Respected,
Yeah.
but
I went to-
uncanny.
Have you guys been to Dollywood? I just went
I
there like
have.
2 weeks ago.
You were
You've
at
never been to
Dollywood?
Dollywood? You were
I
in
was at
Nashville?
Dollywood, yeah.
Yeah.
My first time ever at Dollywood. It was crazy. She
I
has a
felt
theme
like-
park, for those that don't know.
I
A theme
went
park in Tennessee.
a long time ago.
Tony Romo had
maybe-
Dollywood. I'll tell you what. Okay.
I went 30 years ago. I don't know if it's gotten better, but it's like
It
like
has.
it's like an amusement park light. Like it was just like it's like it
No,
could
it's
be better.
like a legit.
It's legit now?
It's legit
Okay.
now. It's like
Gotta go to
it
Dollywood.
could rival some of these Orlando theme parks.
Dollywood. Wouldn't.
Here you go, Scooter. Here's.
let's-
Did you see this? Did you see this one, Scoot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So
I did.
this is a stat that you should both like and be annoyed by. Because one, it goes against your theory about the Eagles and Jalen Hurts, who happens to be one of the most clutch quarterbacks in the league when his
What's
team
my
is
theory?
trailing or being tied. Okay, this is efficiency per play, tied or trailing. But as
That's
you can
not
also
my
see,
theory.
you can also see Dak's up there. Look at Dak's up there this year.
Yeah. He's way on the
Yeah,
top
Yeah,
right.
but that's not my theory. My theory is the Cowboys are destroying bad teams, and the Eagles are barely beating everyone. We beat the Commanders 45-10. The Eagles came down to the last minute in both games. Arguably should have lost both games. So
Well,
my
I've seen the
argument is-
Commanders beat the Broncos on a play that came down.
Commanders always randomly play well against the Eagles, though. It's weird.
And they always randomly play well against the Cowboys as well, except not
It's
this
like
year.
the-
Because
See,
we're
but this is
handling
the problem,
Giants.
Scooter. I'm showing you something that's positive for Dak, and all you can focus on is the Eagles being frauds.
The Eagles are fraudulent. But let's preview this Thursday night football game, Cowboys versus Seahawks. Let me see what you guys think first before I give my opinion. Who's winning this game and why?
I'll go first. The Cowboys are absolutely going to smoke the Seahawks. The Seahawks are fraudulent. Yeah, they have not played well, the Hawks, lately, and I think this is an easy pick, easy Dallas win. I wouldn't say, I mean, no win is easy, but it's you can spot this one from a mile away.
With how bad Seattle looked against San Francisco, and they're terrible in the red zone. They take too many penalties on defense. Reek Woolen got benched, even though he's still injured. Geno Smith still looks like he's injured. He's not the same. No K9. I think Dallas takes this one really easily.
Yeah. I don't know. Looking like the Broncos might have won that trade, Seattle. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, boy. The copium's real with this guy.
Yeah, this
Oh,
guy.
I sucked it
You weren't
down.
saying that last year, buddy.
Sucked
Mhm.
it down so hard. That's what I like about sports. Live and die every week.
Listen,
We ride
think-
and we die.
let me ask you guys, if the Cowboys win this game, will that count as beating a team with a winning record? Because they are 6-5 now.
No, it won't, because the Seahawks have looked so bad lately.
But I'm just mean like the 6-5 count
Yeah.
as beating a winning team, even though they'll be 6-6 after we beat them.
No, Cowboys are good. It's just like I think it's about seeing how good the Cowboys are once they play better teams. And they've
I
got a few
agree. And
down
you-
the stretch.
Can we
I-
bring
I-
up the Cowboys schedule? Can someone bring up the Cowboys schedule for the remainder of the year? Because I'm not gonna lie, at the beginning of the year, our ending games, it looked like a
Look at that.
hard
Fifth-
stretch for the Cowboys.
Fifth hardest stretch remaining is what the Cowboys have.
It
Yeah,
looked
but-
like a hard stretch, but now you look at these teams, the Eagles don't scare me. The 49ers, the Dolphins don't scare me. The Lions don't scare me. The Seahawks don't scare me. And the Bills definitely don't scare me. Before the season, I thought this was going to be a very hard stretch. Now looking at these games, every single game looks winnable. We got the Eagles at home, and they don't have those home Philadelphia referees on their team. Let's see how that game plays out. And if we have a convincing win over the Eagles, it's going to be so interesting to see what the media has to say now, what the narrative is going to be now, if the Eagles can't win that game or if the Cowboys win convincingly at home for that game. So I don't know. What do you guys think we end the season with, knowing those are the 5 games left?
You'll be traveling to an NFC South team's home stadium to play a wild card game there. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dallas is going to win a playoff game, and then Scooter's going to get an extra week of hopium until they run into San Francisco. Or
it will be so. Can you imagine if we beat the Eagles in the playoffs in Philadelphia?
No, I don't want to imagine that. Like
that will be the most glorious day in existence.
Your Twitter, like you will get the word fraudulent trending if that happens, because you're going to tweet it by yourself 50,000 times.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, let's do a score. Yeah, I'm gonna need y'all to come through. I'm gonna need y'all to come through one of those games. Like, I'm gonna need a Tommy DeVito special against the Eagles. One of those games. Pull it off.
We are not.
Let's get a score prediction for this game tonight. Score predictions, and then we can go to the countdown.
Cowboys 35, Seahawks 14. Blowout.
31-10 Seahawks or 31-10 Cowboys.
Ooh. Yeah, I was hoping Bland would get the pick six record in this game. He did it one early, so I think he won't get it in this. He was not going to get a pick six in this game. But the Cowboys will still get a defensive touchdown. I like that. 31-13.
I'm going to go 35-24. They score a touchdown in garbage minutes. 35-24 is my prediction for this game.
Oh, that's not a bad assessment, because you're just counting on your scrubs being in. Okay. Wow.
Yes.
Confident.
Right. Make sure somebody punishes somebody else right now.
Yes.
Please.
All right. Are we going to do this countdown?
Ah!
Yeah. Ready for this, baby? I'm not Tom, let's go. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 4. Scooter's running copium forevermore. He's not here, so I'm going to boast about Jordan Love and Packers. Detroit's losing all these games on Thanksgiving. It doesn't matter. That didn't rhyme. Good. Oh, yeah.
I'll start. I got 21-97.
I got 16.99, baby.
All right. Brandon, it's between you and me. I am 137.50. What do you got?
279.92.
Well done. It's time to punish the little man. What do we gotta do?
Little man, big heart. Little man, big heart.
Complete beard shave.
Whoa! No.
200. That's a little different. That's too
not
much.
More figures for that, Scooter.
Yeah,
more figures.
That's firm right there.
Complete. Oh, we need a waxing of the chest hair.
No, we've done that before.
Pain.
We've done that before.
Okay. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
No.
How about a Brazilian wax, a little taint wax there? We just
all
we do is film. All you do is we film from the neck up while it's happening.
Okay, so it has to be like mild, because it's not so much money. So what's something on the milder side?
I haven't heard Brandon make a song in a while. We haven't made him do a little music act, a little Shailene. Oh, wait a minute. Aaron Rodgers is coming back from injury.
Yeah,
maybe you should have to tear your Achilles.
Yeah, I mean, you should have to experience life behind the Jets' offensive line.
I almost tweeted, I'm going to try and tear my Achilles just to see if I can come back faster than Aaron Rodgers. And I said,
like a video of dolphins humping.
Ooh, should we make Brandon wear a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader's outfit and then be Dolly Parton and then sing Jolene for us?
Maybe
but Shailene instead.
I feel like that's doing a little bit too much.
Yeah, that is a lot much.
Well, sing a Taylor Swift song.
Ooh, no. Ooh. We have not punished him with the Kelsey Taylor Swift act yet.
Yes. Yes.
Should he have to dress as Taylor Swift and make references to Taylor Swift during
I just think he needs to like go out in public with the WWE Kansas City Chiefs belt.
Yeah,
Just
we
somewhere in
need more
public.
Kansas City Chiefs the belt.
I think
needs
it's
to
heavy,
be done.
man.
Like, just go to the grocery store and buy some groceries with the belt.
Yes, and have Jess film you, and then she'll be your cameraman and just film all the reactions, and she'll have to explain it's for a show. This is not.
Yeah, just go buy some groceries with the belt and a Kansas City Chiefs jersey.
We'll never
we do that?
denounce Walmart, guys.
Ooh, make it. Oh, you have to go to Walmart
in
the
Walmart.
Kansas City Chiefs.
In Walmart.
Yes, you have to go to
Wearing the
Walmart
belt.
in the Kansas City. You have to walk and lead, and don't pick some empty aisle. You have to film people reacting to you. Agree or no? You already vetoed the Brazilian wax, so you didn't buy that belt for nothing.
Yeah, I can do that. I can wear
Oh
the
yes,
to
yes.
Walmart and say,
Do it.
"Go Bird Chiefs, go Chiefs,
Go
Go
Chiefs.
Chiefs."
Go Chefs.
Okay.
So what do you guys have coming out?
I have the most insanely fast recoveries from injury in NFL history, playing off the Aaron Rodgers thing. And then I also have the most immobile quarterbacks of all time coming out after that. If Will would get off his ass and send me the script, which he always, Brandon, doesn't he do this to you? He's like, I'll have it by tomorrow. And you're like, yeah, tomorrow is Thursday. And then he'll send it at like 1 a.m. on Friday. And it is like, technically that was Thursday.
He's in Mexico.
Oh, and I'm just like, yeah. And he always tells me that he's going to do it. And he's like,
I've got
else.
a different relationship with Will, Adam.
Yeah. Well, he probably cares about you.
I finishing one of my scripts.
Yeah, he probably is, because you probably pay him double what I pay him.
Probably quadruple.
Wow.
Maybe.
Okay. I've raised his per thing.
What do you have coming out, Brandon?
He works less for me.
We
Gets paid
are.
more.
I've got I don't know if it'll be out Saturday or not, but it's a Carolina Panthers video, just about how screwed they are.
I was thinking about doing one of those.
Done.
I'll probably do something else then. My next video is going to be Bears Vikings greatest game, and which I
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
so unwatchable.
And then I got the reaction to this Cowboys Seahawks game dropping sometime tomorrow. If we win, be on the lookout for the TikTok dance. You're not ready. And I also got a MetaQuest sponsored post coming out for the Gym VR game. You guys have MetaQuest, follow me at Scooter Magruder. Stop playing. You don't want these problems. You really don't want these problems.
Oh, you don't, man.
Ooh,
All right.
We end another stream. I'm Tom.
Can we get out of here?
I'm not Tom.
I'm not Tom. I'm not Tom.